down there.
Hello, hello.
We're trying again.
We're trying again.
We started up Facebook, and everything seemed to be right. And all of a sudden, as soon as we started broadcasting, the whole thing shut off on.
So, hello, welcome. Sorry. Hopefully this will work. If not, oh well. We're gonna do the craft anyway. We're gonna video. I am so sorry, Craft Around the Clock, if it's not working. I know that messes your stuff up. So sorry. But anyway, if you're here, pop in, say hello, and let us know where you're watching from. If you're new, we are, like I said, Raincross Farms Makery. I'm Robin, behind the camera, behind the computer, scrambling madly to deal with pop-ups from Facebook is Bill. And we are coming to you just outside of Lewiston, Idaho. We like to craft, we like to share our ideas, and hopefully inspire you to do something creative every day. So thank you so much for joining us. And I am gonna see, I'm not seeing any comment. Oh, there, I saw one from Shelby. Welcome, Shelby. Hello. Again, no comments on my phone. You know what?
Melissa. Hi, Melissa.
Hello, Melissa.
Right.
So, you know, we're just gonna roll with it. So if it works and you are willing, we would love it if you would like or love our page, if you would follow us. Last time I checked, we were like 7 people away from our first 1,000 followers. So I want to get there today. So if you haven't followed our page, please consider doing that. And if you are so inclined, please share this video out to your friends, to your page, any craft groups you belong to. We would certainly appreciate it. Thank you for sprinkling, Shelley. So, and we also have stars activated, so that's available if you are so inclined, and we so appreciate that. Okay, we're on a time frame, so we're going to get right into it. I'm going to try to monitor comments. They're down there.
That's it.
Okay, so hopefully I'll catch you. Today's craft, I love going to thrift stores. And hi, Judy. Sometimes, I don't know about you, when you go through thrift stores, do things shout out at you, speak to you, saying, you can use me? Well, this did. This was a cabinet door. And it was painted teal and black, and it had this funky little handle here. So this was somebody's cabinet door. I don't know if they ever used it or not, but this shouted out to me, said, bring me home and do something beautiful with me. So that's what we're doing. Because I knew our time was limited, I went ahead and pre-painted it. So I pre-painted the whole front black, and I used chalk paint. I used this Waverly brand ink color. It's not ink, that's the color. It's chalk paint. So that gave it a really nice surface here. And then I like to paint the back of my things when I sell them. I think it looks more finished, more professional. And so I painted it on a cream color because I thought that might go up against a wall, and I didn't want any of the black to kind of smudge off on the wall. So I painted the back cream, and I painted this part black. And what we are going to do, let me tell you, and then we'll go to it. And thank you, Melissa. Hey, Alana.
Can you do one thing for
Yes.
us that we've forgotten this whole thing?
What?
Turn on the lights overhead.
Turn on the lights. There we
For
go.
Goodness gracious,
Woohoo!
that changed
Okay,
everything.
there we go. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for sprinkling. And Alana will take you for as long as we can get you. Okay, so we are going to, on the outside here, I am going to attempt to do Crackle Paint. Crackle Paint scares me because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. The last couple of times I've done it, it has worked. So cross your fingers that the Crackle Paint works even if the technology doesn't. So we're gonna do Crackle Paint along the outside, and then on the inside we're gonna keep it solid black, and we are going to use this transfer. This is our life, our story, our home. This is not one of our newer ones. This is an old one, but I haven't used it yet, and I've been looking for just the right project, and I just love this design. So we are going to put that right there in the middle. So we shall see, and then we'll kind of country farmhouse bling it up. So let's get started. What I'm going to do, because I'm going to chalk on this, I'm going to give just this little center panel some wax. Helped. That helped. What did you do? Something help? So I'm using my surface wax. Sell this in my shop online. And it's just a clear paste wax. And this is going to protect the paint from lifting up when I put this sticky transfer on it. And it's also kind of filling in some of the grooves that natural wood has. So I'm going to buff that. I'm going to put a thin layer on. You don't want to use too much wax. Hey, Patty, welcome.
Judy says the lights help.
Oh, the lights. Okay.
So should I start singing "You Light Up My Life"?
You're welcome to. You can carry a tune.
In a bucket.
So I've got that on. Now I'm going to kind of buff it off because I don't want too much wax. Too much wax will interfere with the paste that I put on. But I'm going to put that on first, and I'm going to let it kind of sit till we're ready for that. Next, I'm going to mask off this inside part. So I've got some painter's tape, and you know what? This painter's tape feels really, really sticky. So I'm going to put a little bit of fuzz on it. I'm just going to fuzz it on my shirt. So painter's tape is not supposed to be super sticky, but sometimes it is. And I'm going to get my scissors so
As long
I
as you're
can...
doing that, Judy, since you're on here and you know about our craft fair we have coming up, and you've seen the video of my picnic table, do you think those things would sell at our craft show? And if so, what do you think I ought to charge for them? Because I'm trying to figure out how many I ought to make right now if I'm going to do those. So, Judy, if anybody else has seen Robin's video of their...
If you saw my picnic table, if you haven't, don't leave now, but look at Raincross Farms Makery. Bill made we're calling it a chicknick table. It's a picnic table for the chickens.
It's silly. And that was just a prototype. She put that out there too early.
Whatever.
I'm making some small changes to it. The bars are too close. The chickens can't stand on them, and the sides are too deep. But those are things that's why I did a prototype, so I could figure that out. So you guys tell me what you think. Okay, did I do enough of my commercial?
You did. I'm completely getting rid of that. That's just annoying. Okay, so again, I'm just masking this off. So when I do the Crackle Paint, were we able to get shared into Craft Around the Clock? Does anybody know?
I'm seeing some names on there.
Let me know if we were able to get shared into Craft Around the Clock.
So
I know
who's watching Craft Around?
Yes, if you're watching or if you saw it get posted through the Craft Around the Clock page, let us know. I'm just curious if it worked, because we had, I don't know if you were with us at the very, very beginning. We started our live, and about 2 seconds in, we get this flash on the screen that says, your account has been locked. Hi, Cindy. One more little piece.
It makes for a little bit of heart
Frustration. Yes. You
think
think everything, well, and we had trouble last week, and then all of a sudden it started working again. And now it's, I don't know. I don't know how he shared it.
After this.
Again, I'm putting some fuzz on this. And I'm just masking off this little center section.
Melissa says it is not posted on Craft Around the Clock yet.
Okay, so.
And I can't really shift in the middle.
I don't know if I'm able to. I'm not gonna.
See if I can share it. No, they have to share it, don't they?
You can try sharing it, but you have to do it as me, not as the business.
Got it. Let me see what I can do.
Okay, so I've got that masked off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use two things. I'm going to use white glue, just plain white glue, and I'm going to use some chalk paint. This is Waverly brand. It's the color Plaster, which is kind of an off-white. And to do Crackle, you can do it a couple different ways. And you know what? I did forget something that I wanted. I'm going to use my water bath. I meant to get a Lazy Susan so I could do this, and I didn't get it. So we're gonna have a makeshift Lazy Susan here. So I'm not going to use Crackle medium because it's kind of expensive. I'm going to use glue as my Crackle medium. So I am going to take a big old paintbrush, and I'm going to take kind of a big layer of glue, and I'm going to paint this on. Get it out here. Ready to spread.
I had a way to contact her.
You can go to my messages.
I'll check that as soon as I'm done looking for crafting. You got so many stinking crafting things on here.
Yeah,
It's almost like you're a crafter or something.
something like that. Okay, so let's see if that's enough glue. I want a pretty decent layer of glue. No, I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need more.
Shared to my groups and friends from Patty. We appreciate that. Thank you. And then messages, you said. Messenger.
Messenger. Her name is Tracy.
Continue as Robin or continue as Raincross?
What are you trying to do?
It's my.
Are you trying to share? Or are you sending a message?
When I went to share on there, it came up with is this your phone number?
Oh.
And all that stuff. So I think that's might be where we're struggling.
Okay, so you can see I'm painting on a pretty thick layer of glue. Kind of boring, I know. Again, thank you for sharing, Patty. Probably should just open up this lid. Isn't this fun?
What, watching glue dry?
Here, we're gonna do it this way.
I sent her a note. See if she will respond.
Ooh, okay, that's a whole lot of glue.
You got a whole lot of glue there.
That's all right.
I
We
got
will spread it
some
around.
Type Bond original wood glue over here.
I have heard you can do this with wood glue. I have not tried it with wood glue. So I'm just getting a thick layer of glue. And this is going to help my paint to crackle. Hopefully.
Melissa says she shared to craft around the flock group as soon as we went live, but it's still pending.
Okay.
They're probably not right on it right now.
Well, she usually is, but she's probably not expecting it to come
right.
Shared.
She has a life too, you know. We tend to forget that. Everybody should be doing what I'm doing.
You mean everybody isn't?
No.
Everybody isn't crafting this morning?
No.
Okay, so I've got a thick layer. You can see I got a pretty thick layer of glue all the way around here. Now I don't want this to dry. I do want it to get just slightly tacky. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this chalk paint and I'm going to paint a layer on top of this. And I've got a brush, parts of the brush. Okay, so
well, Tracy says we got it, and it's been troublesome today.
Okay, good. So it's
Thank
not.
you, Tracy.
Thank you. So it's not just us, although we do have some issues going on.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Okay, so next I'm going to take the plaster color, and when you do crackle paint, you want to do two different shades. You want a darker shade, you want a lighter shade. Painting with glue. Yes. Remember putting it on your hands and then peeling it off?
No, I don't.
Okay. I'm going to just
Maybe
pour.
that was just you.
I'm going to pour some of this pretty thick. I'm going to pour some of this into a little container because my brush is pretty wide. And what I don't use, I'll put back. Now, when I do this, I don't want to go back and forth and back and forth. I don't want to mix the paint in with the glue. I want to get the paint just in a layer sitting on top of the glue. So I'm going to try to do this in as few strokes as possible. Again, so I don't go back and forth over it.
Goodness, that's a lot of glue. And it will dry clear when you get it going.
It will dry. Well, you won't see it because I'm putting a layer of paint over it. But yes, it will dry clear. Again, don't rub it in. Thin layer. Now, if this works right, the paint will crack and show through that black underneath. And it will look very antique-y. Okay. I'm not spending a lot of time on the edges. I didn't put glue on them so it won't crackle on the edges. So I'll go back and touch those up.
On the face?
No, on the sides.
No, I mean,
on the
that's
edges.
the only place it's going to crackle is on the face itself?
Yes, and slightly off the edge. Okay. And I'm going to spin this around. And
so I'm guessing the thing that you could probably use this on a lot of different surfaces. So I'm going to have the dark color behind it, or does it matter?
no, you could do a light color below and the dark color on top. It's whatever is below is going to show up underneath your crack.
Did that answer your question, Melissa?
I'm sorry, Mr. Yes, yes. How it works, my understanding, is we're going to hurry the process up. We are going to dry the paint, and as the paint dries, it's going to shrink. And when it shrinks, it will kind of separate because it's sliding around on that layer of glue, which isn't dry. And that causes the cracks. So you want to keep the glue wet underneath there while you're doing this. Now I'm going to pull out not my normal heat gun. This is my normal quick dry tool. This green one doesn't get super hot. This is an embossing gun, so it does get pretty hot. You could use a heat gun, but you have to be very careful or you'll scorch it. And you can, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if he can go overhead. It's already starting to crack and separate, but we're going to speed up the process.
The new lights change it. I got to change that. We'll get it.
It will do this on its own, but we're going to speed it up, and I'm going to remove these. Right now, we're going to speed it up with our heat gun, just drying that top layer of paint. Okay, so super hot. So you don't want to hold it really close for very long. And this should cause, ooh, it's working. This should cause it to crackle. And hopefully you can see it. Now, the thicker the layer of glue is, the wider your cracks will be. The thinner the layer of glue, the thinner and finer your cracks would be. How are we doing on time? So this embossing gun or this heat gun is just speeding up the process. It will do this on its own if you just let it dry naturally, but you want to see it happen. So hopefully you're seeing that. What are you doing? Oh. You got it working for me?
I can scoot in there and do that because the front can't really talk.
Okay.
My ball head.
Hey, can you see it crackling? Pretty cool. Show me some hearts if you can see it crackling and you like that. Pretty good.
I'm posting as you on my phone. You're posting it, on your phone. All right, I'm gonna. So just so you guys know, anything that comes from me during this live, the posting at the time of Robin, it's me doing it.
Yeah, I take no responsibility for anything that gets posted during this live.
That's a fun thing to say.
Okay. I like it. I love it when it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. Ooh, watch it crackle. Ooh. Did you see that? It's like time passing before your eyes. Look at that. Woohoo. Go, crackle, go. Okay, I'm excited. I'm sorry. I don't always, my crackle doesn't always work. Watch it go. Look at it go. It's like an earthquake. Woohoo! I'm easily entertained. Ooh, that must have been thick glue. Look at those thick crackles. Okay. Looking good. And
if you continue to do that, will I just continue to crack it?
at some point, the top paint layer will dry and it will no longer shrink.
So it'll only go so far.
It will only go so far. And then we'll get down to drying that glue layer underneath. You can kind of see it's not super dark underneath. That's because the glue hasn't dried. Here, let me work on drying that glue. And then you can see it darkens up. Okay, I need some more crackle over here. There we go. I'm loving it. Awesome. Does that look ancient? I don't know. I think that looks very, very old. Now, where is... There's where the handles were. Okay, I'm not going to make you watch this too much longer. We're going to get to the middle part. But I want to get this a little bit dry. So I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to move this out of the way, my water bath out of the way. And this is where the handle was, so that's going to be the bottom. And you can see I've got some paint on my fingers. Let me clean up that a little bit. Okay, so in this center part, we painted it and we waxed it. I'm going to actually buff just a little bit more so I don't have too much wax. So what did you think of that crackle? Are you going to try it? How many of you have tried it? And if you haven't, are you going to? So just school glue, nothing fancy. I have been told you can use it with Dollar Tree glue. I haven't tried it with Dollar Tree glue. I have really only tried it with Elmer's, but I am told it will work. Okay, so here is our transfer we're going to put in the middle. Our life, our story, our home. And this is brand new, so it's very sticky. So we are going to fuzz this. And instead of doing it on my shirt, I'm going to fuzz it on my fuzz cloth with just a towel. And what that does is put a little layer of lint on the sticky part. So these are reusable, self-adhesive silkscreen transfers. And they pick up your hair if you're not careful. And you don't want that.
This says very nice. Daddy says that's great.
Okay, you're going to try it?
Crackling is turning out awesome.
Okay, so I'm just putting some fuzz on so it doesn't stick quite as tight because I don't want to pull up that paint and I don't want it to stick so well that I stretch my transfer as I pull it up. So I'm going to center this on there as best I can. And I'm just going to do it in white. I'm just going to keep it simple. It's going to be, well, it's going to look black and white, but this is really a cream color. So we're going to actually use some antique wax over the top of the white. That cracked. Now, thank you, Wanda. It did. You just never know, right? And that turned out really, that looks like very weathered wood. Okay, and then I like this. Our life, our story, our home. Okay, I'm feeling a bump. Sure. I don't have any fuzz that's causing a problem. That's okay. So I'm smoothing out any air bubbles and I'm making sure that adhesive is sticking. Wherever it's green, there's sticky underneath. Wherever you see the black, that is silkscreen. So I'm going to take some of our Chalkology paste, which is chalk in paste form. It's the perfect consistency and makeup to go through our silk screens. This is our bright white. I sell this in my shop, so I'm going to put some paste on my squeegee, and I am just going to drag that across my screen, my transfer, and it's pushing through that screen and adhering to the surface below. Okay. Super easy way to make home decor signs. Some of you might have a Cricut. Nothing wrong with a Cricut. I have a Cricut. I use it for a lot of things. But to make this design with a Cricut, I'd have to find the SVG. I would have to get the vinyl. I'd have to weed the vinyl. And then it's only good one time. You have to do another one. This I can use over and over. So I've got this down, so I'm going to now peel it up. This is our peel and reveal. Look at that. I love it. Ooh,
Don't drop it.
don't drop it. Okay. And then, ooh, that's sticking to my paint. I'll have to fix that.
Doesn't dry all the way.
Nope. So that's what happens when you rush, but that's okay. I will go over it again and I will crackle that little section again. Okay, so I'm going to dry this with not my power dryer. So our paste, once it's dry, it's smudge and budge proof. So once it's dry, I'll be able to rub up against it. It's not like chalk on a chalkboard that rubs off. Thank you, Melissa. Thanks, Patty. Hey, Joy. Welcome. I crackled, Joy. I crackled. Joy is like the crackle expert. Hers always turn out great. Sometimes I'm so jealous, but look what I did. Woohoo! Thank you so much. Okay. I think that is pretty much dry. I'm going to go back and I'm going to work on a little bit more of this. Again, with my mega dryer, try to dry up some of that glue.
Do you mean you buying 2 of these things is actually worth it? I'm the one who's watching the pocket. She's saying, I want this for my craft. That goes very great.
What, this one?
Yeah, you got both of them.
This was a thrift store find. I think I paid $2 for this.
See, $2.
If you're curious, I paid $2.69 for this drawer front. Okay. So that still has some drying to do, but I used our bright white and I want to tone it down just a little bit. We do have a color called Dune, which is kind of a beige, but I didn't want to go that dark. One thing I'm gonna stop right now. I have my paste drying over here. I don't want that to dry until I'm ready to clean it. So I'm just gonna spray that to keep it damp until I'm ready to clean. Okay, and I'm going to put this on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this with some more wax. This time I'm going to use dark wax. This I got from Amazon, but you can get it in craft stores. It's paste wax, but it has a dark tint to it. So it kind of antiques things. So I'm going to apply just a little bit of that over my paste, and it's going to darken it and kind of antique it just a bit.
And you could do that because I don't want to call it ink.
Our paste is, again,
dries.
smudge and budge proof. Yeah. It's dry. It's adhered there. It's not going anywhere unless it gets really wet or really scraped at. So I'm kind of antiquing that up with my dark wax. Okay, I don't know if it showed up too well on the camera, but it did darken it a bit. If I hold it up, will that
show?
Does it show?
Okay. Over top.
Okay. Can you see? It kind of darkened it up. Anyway, I like that. Okay, I'm going to set that forward just for a minute. I'm going to clean my transfer. Thank you, Joy. I love it when it works. It doesn't always work, but practice makes perfect because I've gotten a lot better at Crackle. Okay, to clean our transfers, they will last you 10 to 12 times if you take good care of them. So I'm going to start by spraying it. And then I'm going to use either a paper towel or this is a Swedish dishcloth. It's like a reusable paper towel. I'm going to get it wet. And this is optional, but I like to use this to get that top layer of paste off. It's like it gets the bulk of it off. And then if it's a paper towel, I toss it. If it's this, I can rewash it. Now I'm going to take my board eraser, which is like a magic eraser, but there's no chemicals in it. And I'm going to use this to clean off the rest of that transfer. This, whatever this stuff is made out of, cellulose or whatever, grabs that paste and pulls it off. And my goal is to get it out of that screen. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to spray, and this is where I got my chalk paint that wasn't completely dry. So I'm going to make sure I get that scrubbed. And
that's actually the sticky side, but the water on it makes it so you can rub over it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this right here isn't our chalk paste. This is chalk paint. So I do want to make sure I get that off.
I was going to say, if
At least it's a corner.
I like it when you let people know that this is what you do in front of the camera, because
This is real life.
you don't have a sink right here.
No.
If you had a sink, you would just do this
If
in your
if I
sink.
was if I was just crafting on my own upstairs, I would probably run this over to the sink and do the same thing with the board eraser. And so
it doesn't
front
hurt 'em
and
to get wet is the point.
no, you don't want to soak them in water because our adhesive is water soluble. So if it's soaked in water for too long, you're going to remove some of your adhesive. And that's kind of the lifeline of your transfer. That determines how many uses you get out of it, how sticky it remains. Okay? But again, I'm just cleaning out the paste out of that screen, front and back, and I'm also removing any of the lint that I got on that. Now what I'm going to do is let this air dry. Once it air dries, I'm going to put it back on its sticky backer sheet, the shiny side to the sticky side, and then put it back in its little plastic home, and it'll be good to go for several more uses. Now we're going to kind of bling this up a little bit. I'm gonna go back in and fix that later, but I'm going to add a little bit of country detail off to the edge. So I'm gonna have Bill go back to the forward camera because because it's still wet, I want to do this off the edge. I'm going to take, what do I have? I'm going to take some twine and I'm going to just do a little accent, twine accent on here. Okay, and I actually need to, I'm going to glue this down. Okay, and I'm going to use my multi-tool to stick that under, and I'm just gluing it to the bottom edge real quick. And then I'm going to just wrap this around several times. I'm not going to put a big old bow on it or anything. I might put a little jute bow.
That would be so cute.
But I'm just going to wrap that around, and I don't care if it's straight or crisscrossed.
Now, did you just ignore that, or did you just say, "Oh, just another one"?
What?
I said that would be so cute.
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't. I'm
You were
sorry.
ignoring me.
I
again.
was. Okay. Same thing. I'm going to glue this. Okay. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing.
Nancy, were you asking if we were from Minnesota? She said, "Hey, you both from Minnesota."
Oh.
So I said, "No, we're Californers and now
No,
Idahoans."
hey, no, she's saying she's from Minnesota. She's
Oh, that's
saying,
right.
Hey, you.
That's what I was.
Hey, you both from Minnesota.
There you go.
Okay. So
That makes sense.
I've got that down, and maybe we will do a little bit of a bow. This is just Dollar Tree jute twine. Right now it's wrapping around itself. How much time do I have? 4 minutes.
Do you think you can do it in 4 minutes?
I'm gonna do it in 4 minutes.
All right, then.
Okay, so I'm just gonna make a little loopy bow.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to remind people, we're so close to getting 1,000
Oh
followers.
yes.
Tell them.
I think we were at 993, I think, this morning. I would so love to get to 1,000 today. So if you haven't followed our page, please do it today. Okay, so tie that there. I'm going to tie this here. Just kind of make a little bow, nothing fancy, just jute. Okay.
Connie says she loves the crackle.
Okay. And you know what? Let's put some beads on too. I have some black beads. Do I have time?
Extra now.
Do I have time? Okay, I've got a few beads. Where's my tape? Do I have any tape? I have some tape. I like to use tape to kind of make a needle of my jute. So I'm just going to tape that up. Thank you, Nancy. We try to do fun stuff. Thank you, Connie. Okay, let's put maybe 3 beads on each side. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How are we doing on time? 2 minutes. I can do it. I can do it. So if you are interested in this transfer and this project, you can type the word, what did I say? Home?
I don't
Story. What did I say? What's in the pinned comment?
Pinned comment says story.
Story. Type the word because it says our story. I thought that was a word people wouldn't ordinarily use and trigger my bot. So type in the word story and you'll get a link to a shopping link for the transfer and some paste and a surface because you might not have your own drawer front, but feel free to add or take out whatever you want from that cart. And let's make this one a little bit shorter. So what do you think? What do you think of this? Do you like it? Give me some hearts if you like it.
I would give you some hearts, but it'd be you giving you hearts.
You've given me hearts, giving me stars. Okay, so I'm going to lift this up.
We see those hearts. That looks nice.
Woo!
Don't drop it. Don't drop it.
That wouldn't have been good. That would have been, anyway.
You know what?
So-
Those beads look great.
Okay, so I am going to fix this up. I'm going to re-crackle that area. But anyway, I like it. Thanks so much for joining us and give Crackle a try. Go back and watch the video again if you want to see how to do it. And we are just about done, so we will be seeing you later. I won't be on tomorrow. I am driving to Seattle to go to a Chat Couture event, but watch the page because I'm gonna tell you as many sneaky peeky previews as I am allowed to. So thanks again for watching, and we will see you later. Thanks for sharing us, and thanks especially to Craft Round the Clock. So thanks a lot. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.